Last class we discussed constructors, what is constructors and all we discussed, and parameterized constructor, default constructor, these two we discussed. Also we discussed one more that is called constructor overloading and method overloading, right? Constructor overloading and method overloading, and what is the use of out parameter, out keyword also we discussed. Okay, now let's move to next. And class. Now, one more concept is there in constructor. Constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. Let's see what is meant by constructor overloading and all. Static void main. Now, in this, static void main, and now in this, I am going to write one more class const test 5. Now, one parameterized constructor is there, public const test 5, and int course name, cname, comma, string course name, and course duration, comma, course fee. This is the data. Now all this data it is taking string cname, comma, int c duration, comma, int course fee. And if I want to assign this, already both are same, so you have to use this dot cname equal to cname, and this dot c duration equal to c duration, and this dot c fee equal to c fee. All these things I had assigned. Now I want to display this data. Public void display. I am going to display the data. Console.writeLine. C duration. WriteLine. Course fee plus C fee. All these things I'm taking. Now, for this I'm creating an object const test 5 obj equal to new const test 5. And now to whom I'm asking, only those people give reply. So if you observe in that I wrote something, and somewhere it is showing error. Anselin, why it is showing error? Anselin, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Why it is showing error? You try, whether if it is right or wrong, it's not an issue, but try. Okay, I will show little above also. Display is not important for us. Yes. Why it is showing error? Because
Because we pass the value for the constructor.
Where, in which line? You are saying correct. In which
13,
line?
13.
Line number?
13.
30.
13.
13. Line number 13.
Yeah.
Yes. This
We
construct.
pass is parameterized constructor, so we have to pass the parameters in there.
Yes, correct. So because whatever constructor is there, this constructor is a parameterized constructor. So when we are creating an instance of that class, then you have to pass these parameters. Otherwise it won't allow, right? So let me pass the parameters. Course name is C#.NET and course duration is 30 days, comma, course fee is, for example, 5,000. I gave some amount. Okay. Now everything is working fine. And if you run this program also, it will work fine. Now, these are the objects. 5 only. This is object 1, object 1. This is object 2, object 2. This is 3, 3. 4. This is 4. Now total how many? 4 objects are there. Now somehow, means very rarely we will get this type of scenario. Somehow we are creating 4 objects. So actually if you observe for these 4 objects, I'm passing same type of data. Now suddenly I have to change the course fees from 5,000 to 6,000. Or I have to change that C# duration from 30 to 40 days. So what I have to do, everywhere I have to go and I have to change, right? Here 40 and here also 40 and here also 40, like that everywhere I have to change. Now suddenly it's 35 means everywhere I have to go and change. So because of that, this is not a proper approach. This is not a proper approach to pass this data. To pass this data, this is not a proper approach. Then how we can pass? Means the situation where multiple objects, that means these obj1, obj2, obj3, obj4, multiple objects are taking same type of data at constructor level, then this is not the recommended way to pass the data. Then how to pass? Instead of passing this data, I am passing object 1. Means earlier here I am passing a string, a number, a number. So here constructor level, what you gave? String parameter, number parameter and number parameter you gave. Now to this constructor, what I am passing? obj1. obj1 is of which type? This type. Now here I'm going to create one more constructor, public const test 5. And what data it is taking? It is taking const test 5 of data. Const test 5 C. And here what I'm doing means, this is object 2 dot you called, right? For object 2 C name, it is going to assign C dot C name. And object 2 course duration, it is going to assign C dot duration. C dot C duration. And course fee is equal to C dot course fee. That's it. So again, I'm saying earlier we passed string integer. That's why parameters I gave like this. If your parameters are taking little different, means instead of passing this data, what I'm doing, I'm passing this object 1. So this object 1 is going to here in this C. So this object 1 is holding all these values, right? So that values, that C values, I am assigning to object 2 members. So this is called as copy constructor. This is called copy constructor. So when we want to copy one object value to values to another object at a constructor level, then that is called as copy constructor. Again, I'm saying when you want to copy one object values to another object at constructor level, then we are going to use this copy constructor. But keep remember, very rarely you are going to use this syntax. Very rarely you are going to use this syntax. Now for other things also, I'm not giving this. Instead of that, I'm giving this obj1 only. So what is the advantage? Here it is going to call your parameterized constructor. Here it is going to call your copy constructor. So advantage of this is, suppose suddenly your client told, no, it's 35 days. So go to this main thing, and if I change here to 35, sorry, where it is. Here, if I change this value to 35, automatically for all the objects, it's going to change. So keep remember, if I want to copy one object value to another object at constructor level, then copy constructor is going to be used. But this, very rarely you will get this type of scenario, very rarely. But keep remember, this is also possible. Yes. Any questions, please ask. Once go through with that. If no questions.
Ma'am, I was thinking all the parameters are same, then why to call the objects again and again?
Sorry.
When all the parameters are same and we are using the same object for the same function, then why would we call
No.
the same object again and again?
If this type of scenario came, suppose, see, you are joining for Naresh C Sharp course for and same thing, Chandu and Parthiban and Shrija, like multiple peoples are joined in this. So whatever videos Naresh is sending, is that same or different? Or whatever notes I'm sending, is that same or different? Or whatever course duration of yours, is that same or different? All are same, except your name and phone number, email, remaining all details are same, right? So this is Padma object, and this is some X object, this is some Y object, but for all these people, courses are same, course duration is same, fees is same, but only your name and phone number, these things are different. In that case, you can create like this, you can create like this, but very rarely you can do like this. If all data is same, then you can use this approach to copy one object to another object. But in our scenario, whatever example I said, name and phone number are different, but whatever courses you selected, that course fee, duration, remaining, etc., all these things are same, right? That you can create like this. If it is same, then only we can use this scenario.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? I'm moving to next. So just,
Ma'am, why we have written these many objects? Like you have written 4 objects, right?
yes,
Why have given 4 objects?
if you don't want, you can write 2 only. Just I'm saying, if this scenario came, whether if it is 2 objects, 3 objects, 4 objects, or anything. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Then one more common interview question here is, and okay, I will tell here only. One more common interview question is, can I define my constructor as private? Means yes, you can define your constructor as private also. Means like for methods, how you are defining a scope, public, private, protected and all. In the same way, for constructor also, public, private, protected, everything you can give. Some design patterns required constructor should declare as private. So keep remember, if a constructor is defined as private, then means if anyone asks, can I define constructor as private, means yes, you can define. But instance creation is not possible. Instance creation is not possible. So you should not say constructors making private is not possible. You have to, you can do that. But instance creation is not possible. Clear? Next. So whatever you are going to create, for all these things, whatever constructors you are going to create, constructors you are going to create, some areas we required private. Then you might ask a question, ma'am, if instance creation is not possible, then what is the purpose of that constructors? Not now. If you want, you can go through with that. We are having one design pattern called singleton design pattern. In that singleton design pattern, we have to restrict users to create an object for this class. In that case, what we have to do means, we have to make this constructor as private. If you make any class constructor as a private, then instance creation is not possible. Very, very important. But some areas it's required, some areas it's not. That's why if anyone asks you, can I define constructor as a private, means yes, you can define. Actually, we won't discuss singleton design pattern, but in interviews, if they ask why we need constructor as a private, means one best example, in singleton design pattern, we are going to use that. If anyone are interested, please refer that singleton pattern also. In Google, you can find it out, because design patterns are very, very important. Shall I move to next? Okay. Next, add one more class. Okay. Static constructors also I will discuss. Variable, static variable demo. Now, static void main class static demo 1. Now, till now, whatever variables you declared, those are called as instance variable. Those are called as instance variable. So I'm writing here instance variable. Why I'm calling this as an instance variable? Static demo 1 obj is equal to new static demo 1. Static demo 1 obj equal to new static demo 1. I'm creating an object for this, and I'm creating an object for this. So static demo 1 obj equal to new static demo 1, then obj dot, when you type this, when you create an instance of that class, then the memory is going to allocate for obj dot first number. That means When you are creating an instance, at that time the memory is going to allocate for that first number, right? That's why I can call that variable as an instance variable. I can call that variable as instance variable. So instance variable, for every instance the memory is going to create. That means obj1 and obj2, two objects are there. For obj1 dot first number separate memory, for obj2 dot first number separate memory is going to allocate. That means how many instances you are creating, those many memories it's going to create. Already I discussed this earlier also. Now, what is meant by static variable? If I declare a variable with a keyword called static, then that is called as static variable. This is static variable. And before creating instance only, for static variable, the memory is going to allocate. And for static variable, it won't create memory for every instance. It won't create memory for every instance. Only once the memory is going to allocate, and that memory will be shared by all objects. Only once the memory is going to create, and that memory is shared by all objects. Again, I'm saying, see, instance variable means for every instance the memory is going to create. Whereas static variable means only once it's going to create, only once it's going to create, and that memory will be shared by all people. That memory will be shared by all people. Okay, now, so instance variable and static variable. Let me write down one program, public void display. In this display, I'm going to print console dot. What is this method? This method is instance method, because once we are discussing the concept of static, always you have to differ static method, instance method, or static variable, instance variable. You have to, when we are saying that, then you have to tell that it is an instance method or it is a static method, like that. Now this is a purely instance method only. So an instance method can access both instance and static variables. Keep remember, console dot write line first number equal to plus f number. Second number. Now I'm going to print this public void. Okay, I printed, but let me first print these values. obj1 dot display, and here obj2 dot display. Let me check what values it's going to print. Run. Okay, some other program is there. So go to properties, static variables. Yes, run. 0 0, it's going to display first number equal to 0, second number equal to 0 for all objects. Okay, so who is going to do all these things means you people know. I know, don't want to explain that again. Public void increment, and again this is what? Instance method. Now first number plus plus, second number plus plus, first number plus plus, second number plus plus. I'm incrementing those two variable values. Now obj1 dot increment and obj2 dot, sorry, 1 dot increment. So here what will be the values? Initial value, this value will be 0, and second number value will be 0, because second number is not belongs to object 1, right? That's why I didn't wrote object 1 dot like that. I didn't wrote. Now anyone tell me what is the value of what is the value after finishing this method? What is first number and second number values?
0.
0 after increment. After this increment step, what will be the values of first number and second number?
1.
Oh, 1, 1. Why you are thinking so much? This value will be 1 and the second number value will be 1. Then you might think, Shriza, I think you might think plus plus is next. That's why maybe 0, 0. No. If the plus plus before or after, when you gave console.writeLine inside only, that will be differ. Okay. So here you are giving plus plus s number or s number plus plus, both are same. Now anyone, what will be the output of this? Again, I called increment. What will happen?
2.
2. Yes, second number equal to 2. All these things. Obviously, display means it's going to display these values only. Now, if I come to this down, again, one more object is creating. For first number, what I said about instance variable, for every instance, it is going to create a separate memory. So this value will start with 0. But second number, it won't start with 0. It will start with 2. Why? What I said about static variable, it won't create separate memory for every object. Only one memory, and that memory will be shared by all. Now, if you want, you can see the output. See, first one 2, 2, that is correct. And second, obj2 dot display f number equal to 0. What is s number? It is showing 2. S number, it is showing 2, right? So keep remember, always this will work like this only. Any questions? Please try to understand. Anywhere, if you are not clear, please ask. I will hide this.
Ma'am, for first number and second number, you did not give any value, right?
I didn't give any value.
So how can we get like 1 and
Anyone tell me how can I get that value?
The default.
Yes, it will take default 0.
Who is going to assign that 0? That's what Shravani is asking.
If you are
Shivani,
not assigning a value, it will take 0. Is a default.
someone will assign. Who?
Default
Memory.
constructor.
Yes, default constructor, implicit default constructor. Remember here in the constructor demo, I said in a class, if there is no constructor is defined, then implicit default constructor will be added, and that implicit default constructor will assign 0 to integer, I mean value type of data, null to reference type of data, right? So keep remember, these points are very important. So Shivani, whatever you are asked for that, here for first number and second number, who is going to assign? Means obviously for static variable, your constructor won't do. By default, the initial value of static variable is 0 only. So this is that. And for this first number, who is going to assign? Your implicit default constructor will assign that 0. Clear?
okay, ma'am?
Ma'am, in one example, you said that plus plus, if it comes before and after post increment and pre increment in the memory location, it will increase, but it will not print, you said. No, ma'am?
No. See, here, whether if you are giving like this or like this, both are same. Both are same. But when you can find out the difference between these two means, if you gave this inside console.writeLine, then this both are different. Okay. But I'm not printing, right? If you are not printing, both are same. Either you can give, or I didn't understand this one means you can give f number equal to f number plus 1. It's going to increase. Anything is same. All these three are same. Okay.
Okay. If you're not printing, it's increasing in the memory location. Is it that? Like now in this case, you did not give console.writeLine, but then you've given f number plus plus. So is it like increased in the memory location, and when it came to obj.increment, did it print 1?
No, 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 no. Either you are giving this or you are giving this. After finishing this line, the value will be increment.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why there won't be any difference.
Okay.
Okay, next, almost static variable is done. Now keep remember, for static variables only once the memory is going to create. Now I will ask a question. Let's go to bank class. This is my program. Now Parthiban, you tell me, in this any variable, can I make it as static? This is saving account. Now, my question is, in this, whatever variables are there, can I make any variable as static?
No, ma'am. No.
No. Okay. Shreeja,
Yes, ma'am.
which variable? Okay, for your confirmation, yes is correct. You have to make one variable as static. Which variable? Okay, anyone?
Name variable,
Which
Account
variable?
number.
string name.
Name. Okay,
Why?
any
Because
other?
it's not changing.
Why? For your account number, whatever name is there, in my account number also same name will be there. No, right?
Once
Your,
assigned. Okay, okay, okay. Once.
no, what I'm saying is try to understand first. Static means what? That data should be common to everyone. That data should
Minimum
be,
balance.
yes,
in the
very
Balance.
good. It's minimum balance,
Balance.
right? Because if you observe, account number is different for yours and mine, and name will be different for yours and mine. Maybe balance, sometimes it may be same, but this is also separate memory I want. But minimum balance, this is common for everyone. Common for everyone. So I can make this variable as static. Keep remember, if I define this variable as static, then memory will be allocated, memory will be created only once, and that memory will be shared by all people. Memory will be created by only once, and that memory will be shared by all people. Now this is good. So because of this static nature, the memory is going to create only once. But means, I think you people understood, right? Where you have to use static, where you should not use static, right? So when generally in banks, so many people will create an account. How many objects are there? It's not a problem. For all those people, for these variables, separate memory is going to create, and for minimum balance, only one memory is going to create. Because of that, it's going to save the memory. Now, but static concept is very good. But the problem is, whatever static memory is there, or whatever static variable is there, everyone are able to change the static variable. I don't want that nature. Let's see how. Go to add and class. Please understand, this is very commonly asked interview question. What is the difference between static and read? Sorry. What is the difference between constant, static, read only? static void main. So static void main, then class static demo 1. Now here I think static demo 1 is there, static demo 2. Here I'm declaring one variable int a. What is this a? This a is called as instance variable. That means for every object the memory is going to create. Now static int b. So this is good. It is a static variable. So only once the memory will be allocate. Only once the memory will be allocate. But okay, let me write one constructor. How to write a constructor? Okay, public static demo 2 public static demo 2 and public static demo 2 and inside I'm going to write something, then public void display. So this is constructor, instance constructor, instance constructor, and this is instance method. Now if you observe a equal to 10, b equal to 20, I can change, or a is equal to 100, b is equal to 200. I'm able to change. I'm able to change these things also. A equal to 10, b equal to 20. Yes, I'm able to change. In the same way, a equal to 100, b equal to 200, I'm able to change. That means if you take the static variable value can be changed anywhere. The static variable value, you can change it anywhere. I don't want this nature. If you take this minimum balance bank program, in this bank program, whatever value is there, that value no one can change. Only I can take this data, but no constructor, no method, nothing, no people should change. I want the memory should be only once, and I don't want to allow anyone should change. So then I can make one more is there, read only int c. If I declare a variable as a read only, then either you can give the value immediately, or you can give the value c equal to 50 here. Constructor level also you can change, but if you observe here c equal to 50, you can't change. Why? A read only variable value, a read only variable value can change at constructor level only, but at method level you can't change. That's why it's throwing error. So this is okay, but this is what, again, this is also an instance variable only. This is also an instance variable only, but I want static nature plus read only nature both. I want static nature, that means one memory I want to create, and read only nature also there. Then I can define that variable as static read only. I can define that variable as static read only int d. That means what? Memory will create only once, and no method can change this. So let me change this d equal to 10. If I'm trying to give 1 not 10, if I'm trying to give, it will throw error. Why? That is a static variable, static read only variable. You can't access. Static read only variable you can't access at normal constructor. So this is not possible. At least can I give here d equal to 100? No, because this is static read only variable. So you can't access at method. This is a read only variable. Read only variable. So you can't access that. So keep remember, if I make this as a static read only, then ma'am, how to give this value? Either you can give this immediately here, or if you are having a static constructor, I will tell static constructor tomorrow. Static constructor, see, I want to give the value here, d equal to 50. Is it taking or not? So if it is your static read only variable, the static read only variable value you can give either immediately or at the static constructor level only. In these two places only you can give static read only variable value. Like this, like read only. What is meant by yes.
Ma'am, can I change the value? For example, static read only, when you're defining this one, for example, you assign a 500 or 100 value. Can I change that value in static constructor?
In actually, this is wrong. Whatever I had given immediately giving, right? This is wrong.
Okay.
You should not give in this variable declaration part. Why constructors? Constructors are going to give and initialize the values, right? Constructor level only we have to do. But earlier, when I'm saying this program, I didn't discuss about constructors. That's why I gave the value directly. But this is not the correct approach. This is the correct place where you can define the variables values. Okay.
Okay.
But yes, for your question, answer is if you are giving some value here, then I can change the value here. Now, what will be the value when I'm trying to print? This means 50 only. Okay. At constructor level, what value you assigned, that only it will take.
Okay.
So next. So how you are having read only? Read only means what I said, a read only variable value can change at constructor level only, right? In the same way, we are having one more, const int cc. This is also somehow like read only, but const means immediately you have to give the value. If you are not giving immediately, it will throw error. Const value immediately you have to give. Even constructor level, nowhere you can touch that value. C equal to 901. See, it will throw an error. Why? It is a constructor. It is a const value, constant variable. So you can't change the value. So not only this, when you are changing at normal constructor level also, it's not going to allow. That means in a constant, if you assign some value at the time of declaration, you never change. You should not change any value. Then ma'am, you might ask, ma'am, instead of read only, can I define static constant? No. Why? See, static constant int dd. When I'm trying to give this, equal to 600. Static constant int dd. If I place the cursor there, the constant dd cannot be marked as static. So always constant will be for instance variable only. Constant will be for instance variable only. Static variables, you can't change it as constant. Always constant should give for instance variable only. Constant variables you can give for instance variable only. Again, I'm saying these questions are very important. Once you, after finishing this course, Once you attend the first interview, then these questions are very commonly they are going to ask. Whether when I'm saying if you want to note it down in a separate notes and all, your wish. Because see, even I am also taking so many interviews. At that time also these questions are common questions. When I am facing any interview also, even after having these many years of experience, still the people is going to ask these questions. Okay, so keep remember, always constant can be used as a constant can be applied for instance variables, and read only you can apply for static variables, static and instance both. And one more important difference, constant you can apply for in any variable. That means here, what is this CC? Here CC is a class variable, right? Class inside whatever variables you are defining, those are called as class variables. Now if you want, let me comment this, if you want a method inside also, you can define constant int uh, dd equal to 500, some value I had given. Yes, this is allowed. That means this is what method inside, that means these are called local variables, right? See, these local variables also can be constant, but read only int ee is equal to 900, it will throw error. Why? If I place mouse there, what is the error it is showing? The modifier read only is not valid for this item. That means read only variables, I mean read only you can't apply for local variables. Read only you can apply for class variables only. But constant, both for class variable you can apply as well as for method, I mean local variables also you can apply. These are the main differences between static, constant, read only and static read only. And in this area what we have to discuss, you have to declare this variable as static read only this, so that memory will be allocated only once and you shouldn't give this value here. I will tell tomorrow, I will discuss static constructor, then I will change. But this is not giving, this is not a proper way of giving the data. Always in constructor we have to define that. But static read only short minimum balance. Like this you have to declare your variable. Now go through with this. Clear? And today morning I sent constructors, static, properties, all these notes I sent. Please go through with all.
Sure.
Okay. And in our requirement, I'm going to add one more. I don't know whether you people are doing or not. I am not getting requirement part 3. So one is for deposit, like that. So many things are there, right? I want to add one more, checkbook. Deposit. 2 is for withdraw, 3 is for get balance, and 4 is for display details. These 4 I had given. So 5 checkbook I want. So when I select choice 5, what it should ask means enter account number. I have to give my account number and how many leaves checkbook you want. How many leaves checkbook? So I have to give either 10 or 30. In that bank only 10 or 30 leaves checkbooks are there. Suppose here if I gave 2, it should not call that method. Immediately in my main program only it should say this type of checkbook is not available. So whatever value I'm giving here, I have to give either 30 or 10. I have to give here either 30 or 10. Suppose if I am giving 2 invalid leaves, invalid leaf checkbook, it should display. Suppose if I am giving 10, it should call that method, or if I am giving 10 or 30, then call that method. In that method, what you have to do? Verify account number. Verify account number first. If account number is valid, then if 10 leaves of checkbook, then you should check your balance, because your minimum balance, I think I gave 1000 rupees. Yes, opening balance should be 1000 rupees. So if it is 10 leaves checkbook, then 100 rupees it should deduct. Okay, rupees 100 it should deduct. If it is 30 leaves checkbook, if 30 leaves checkbook, then rupees 250 it should deduct, something like that, some amount, whatever amount it is. Now if your balance is, if balance is 1000 only, if your balance really 1000 rupees, then simply it should say sorry, insufficient balance, for checkbook issue. And whereas if you give same thing here, if you are having 1000, then it should show. If your balance is 1100, then only 10 leaves checkbook should be available. Or if your balance is below 1250, then this checkbook is not possible. This checkbook is not possible. See, whatever I'm saying, whatever assignments I'm giving, all these things are real-time concepts only. But I'm not giving more in detail. Like here it's asking only account number, right? But generally you have to enter your name, date, and your account number, all these things. But I am validating everything based on account number only. But keep remember, all these things should you have to give. Again, I'm saying, along with all the things, one more choice you have to, one more case you have to add, checkbook. And when I select the checkbook, it should ask enter account number. After that, how many leaves of checkbooks? If I gave 2, some wrong number other than 10 and 30, it should show immediately error here only. If I gave 10 or 30, then only the method should call. Then in that method, first verify account number is matching or not. If it is matching, then some 10 or 30 you are entering, right? You have to check balance also. If your balance is exactly 1000, even 10 leaves checkbook also not possible. 30 also not possible. That means if I want 10 leaves, then my balance should be above 1100. And if my balance is 1250 above, then only 30 leaves are possible. But don't give any constant value like that, because today I'm saying my opening balance is 1000. Tomorrow I may say my opening balance is 3000 also. I don't know what value I'm going to change here. Okay, so make this like today if I gave my balance as 1000, tomorrow if I gave my minimum balance as 3000 or whatever it is, this should work. This method should work. You have to write in such way. How you are going to write, let's see. Okay. Okay, then bye all of you. Thank you.